Typically, what the warning center wants people to do. I mean, we talked about the fact there are a lot of tall hotels there on the beaches. So is that what people are usually urged to do, is to go up to those higher floors?
Yeah, certainly. But, you know, if it is a very strong building that's 6 or 7 stories or higher, generally are a safe shelter. So if it's a stronger building, a concrete structure, something that is maybe still reinforced, you know, if you go above, it depends how high that weight is, but go up a number of floors and you're probably going to be okay. If it is not that strong of a structure, and you have the option of getting to a higher ground, that certainly is a better option for you.
Certainly. Anything else that you can add as far as what people need to be aware of right now that are keeping an eye on this?
Yeah, certainly people on the West Coast, now that a watch has been issued, should be watching this very closely. And, you know, we could be seeing certainly some damaging water rise across parts of the West Coast. We saw that, as I said before, with a 2-foot surge that we saw from the Chilean earthquake last February. And, you know, that caused some damages. It caused some people to lose their boats on some of the piers, caused some pier damage. You know, we could see that again, and we could see, you know, larger waves certainly from this as well. That could cause more significant damage. But as people are headed to bed tonight, they need to be paying extra close attention to it.
You know, we also talked about the fact that when things like this hit, you've got a lot of power outages, so people, you know, may be unable to monitor what's going on, and that's the scary part. You know, we're talking about how a lot of these people in Japan probably didn't know that this was coming, you know, had no warning. It's a different case right now for Hawaii and the western coast of the United States and those other islands in the Pacific. People do have the warnings, and that's the important thing. So when they hear those sirens go off, I mean, they need to heed them.
Sure, and you know, I was very happy to hear Adam say that there have been some warnings, some sirens that have gone off in Japan. Because, you know, if you have, or don't have your electricity, at least you have that kind of a warning, a tsunami warning. So that's great news. But yes, in Hawaii, there's plenty of time to get that kind of information out, and certainly across the West Coast. So that's the good news. Places that are farther off towards the west, western part of the Pacific, I should say, Japan, Russia, the Philippines, you know, the more densely populated islands. And in some cases, the islands that have people who don't have as strong of infrastructure and as great of a messaging system there, that potentially will be causing problems.
All right, meteorologist Rick Breaking, thank you so much again, and we will be coming back to you. Meanwhile, I want to go ahead and recap what is going on for anyone who's just joining us. A magnitude 8.9 earthquake slamming against Japan's eastern coast on Friday. We know that it unleashed a 13-foot tsunami there that swept away boats and cars. We've been looking at video of all of this damage, and I mean, you see homes and cars just being swept by this wall of water, moving very fast, and you can only imagine people caught off guard that might have been in those homes and in those vehicles. Right now, though, we're only hearing that one person has been confirmed killed. There are reports of several injuries in Tokyo. It was actually hundreds of miles away, but people there said that buildings shook violently when the main quake was hitting, and that there has been a pretty massive wave of aftershocks that followed, with some pretty strong earthquakes included in those as well, up to a 7.5. Japan's meteorological agency is saying that within 2 hours that those large tsunamis, some of these pictures that we have been looking at, washed ashore into dozens of cities, they're saying. You know, we had seen a couple of areas, and we had talked about the fact that the damage and the death toll could be much wider than anything that we can imagine at this point. And now they're saying that it came ashore in dozens of cities along a 1,300-mile stretch of that country's eastern shore. And that was from the North Island of Hokkaido to central Wakayama Prefecture. And we have heard quite a bit from the Prime Minister, Nato Kan, urging people to just be patient and to help each other right now. He said that the quake did cause major